an older woman actually moved from contemplating the idea of moving to Panama alone and actually doing it, we're going to meet someone who did just that. Keep watching. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Single Women Retiring Abroad. You know, the last two videos I did, we explore the idea of how do you go from contemplating the idea of moving abroad to actually executing a plan for making it happen. Today, I'm just so happy to have my friend Sonia here. And just to kind of put a little bit of validity in what I've been saying, that yes, you can do it. So I'm going to start with myself, reintroducing myself to you guys, or some of you who may not know who I am. I am Maggie Lazar, and I'm a retired nurse practitioner. I have been in Panama for almost 2 years now as a retiree and absolutely loving it. So I say jokingly that I could be an ambassador for Panama. And there is an article that was just published, and we'll go about into that a little bit later. But I'm a nurse, I'm a mom, I retired early, so all the things I've been telling you. So now I would love to introduce you to my friend Sonia, who I met here in Panama last year, and we have been friends ever since. So Sonia, please introduce yourself to my viewers.
I am Sonia Booth, and I have been in Panama since February of 23. I am a retired teacher on top for many years. And the way I got here was my husband at the time, he decided that I needed to retire. And so we started looking, in order for me to retire and be able to afford to live, we needed to live in another country. And so we came to Panama and spent six weeks traveling all over Panama, loved it, and decided we were going to move here. And then when we got back and sold everything, he got cancer and he passed away. So he passed away in January of 22. And I decided after about a year that I would just come. And there was nothing holding me in the States. I have my kids and my friends in the States, but I really could not afford to live there. So I loving Panama and deciding that because my husband liked the interior, I loved the city, so I would move to the city. And so I did. And I worked on getting my visa prior to moving, and I actually got my permanent visa prior to moving. I traveled to Panama several times. And so that's what, I went through Kramer and Kramer, which is a big firm here in Panama, and I recommend them highly. And I got all my paperwork together and applied, and it was really easy when you have a retirement. I have a pension from teaching.
Sonia talked about her husband and how they both love Panama. And when she told me about her husband passing and she still decided to come, I mean, that's the sign of a strong woman. So I really appreciate that about her. So Sonia is a teacher, so she's big on doing research, and she always tells me how much research she did before they decided on Panama. Sonia, were you and your husband looking at other countries, or did you just beeline to Panama?
We originally looked at Ecuador.
Okay.
And decided that, and then we looked at Panama and decided we'll try Panama first.
Okay. And then that was it.
And I didn't need to try anywhere else. I love it here.
Okay. Well, same here for me. I told you my story. I came to Silicon Island. That was it. So that's wonderful. So in your research, you heard about how to get your visa and you started the process from home, right? Which is what, Tennessee?
Yes,
Okay. How long did it take you to get your visa from start to finish?
from start to finish, 6 months.
Okay. And that's a good time frame to tell people. Some people think it's 3 months, and I'm like, no, give yourself more time because you never know.
Well, my visa was actually ready in 4 months,
Okay.
but I could not come back to the country for 6 months because my husband was sick at the time. And
I got it. And we say 4 to 6 months, and that's a good time frame, right? Okay.
yeah,
And your attorney, you mentioned Kramer. Did you find him through somebody referring them to you, or did you just pick him from your
I
research?
found he was referred by several people on Facebook groups.
Mhm.
And it was great because I could go onto his website and
Yes,
it gave everything that I needed. I mean, it told me everything I needed. It told me how much it was. It
that's
was
good.
all really
Good.
plain.
And then another question regarding that, you would say it's like $1,500 to $2,000 kind of range for everything?
I think for everything, it was like 1,500 at that time.
Okay. And of course, it could have gone higher. We don't know. But for
Yeah,
budget
that was
purposes,
actually over 2 years ago. Well,
yeah,
2.5 years ago since I started.
yeah. Okay. So you decided to come.
Almost 3.
Yeah. So were you on the different trips that you made? Did you choose a particular area? I know you where you live right now, but did you visit? I know you went to the interior
I
with
did a
your
lot of
husband.
research
Okay.
while I was in the States. And I pretty much, when I moved to Panama City, I knew all the neighborhoods. I had looked on Encuentra 24.
24? Mhm.
It's a like a Craigslist of in Panama.
Right.
And I had, when I first got here, I flew in, I took a hotel room, and I started contacting the real estate agents for those properties I was interested in.
Right.
I was incredibly lucky. My second apartment I looked at is the one I'm in now.
And she doesn't
And
want to move ever.
don't ever want to move. I love my apartment. It's so I found it the second day I was here. So within a week I was moved in.
I know.
And
All
it
right.
is
But
fully
it doesn't,
furnished. So
it's not, the norm that she was so lucky and she found it on her second, visit. But most of us, we're gonna see multiple places before. But it's helpful to know exactly where you want to be. And I tell people when you come on a scouting trip, that's why you go to the different neighborhood, walk around and get a feel for the place. And then you can zero beeline into that space. That's good. What was your process, Sonia, about getting your electric turned on, your telephone and all of that? Briefly.
the person that I rented from got me in touch with somebody for the internet. And so I went with Tigo. And so I got my internet and my cell phone, a permanent
Through
cell phone
Tigo.
number.
Mhm.
And I also have a landline phone. So
And you have a landline because of when people come in and they ring your apartment in order for you to ring them in. But it's
right.
not like you need it, right?
No.
Right, okay.
Then the electricity, my property manager actually went and had it changed over into my name. And she was wonderful. And she took my pensionado visa and I got the jubilado discount.
Yep, we get 25% off on utilities, electric when we move in. Okay. Your cell phone. And I tell people you have to have a Panama number when you're in Panama, you can keep your number from wherever you come from, but to do transactions here, you need a local number. And they have eight numbers, right? For the
7, 8,
WhatsApp. Yeah,
8 numbers
4
plus
and
the
4.
country code. Mhm.
Yes, and everybody uses WhatsApp. So when you come to Panama, you can keep your T-Mobile number, especially if you have a dual SIM phone. Phone, but you need a local number. That's why. Sometimes they're confused. They don't know why. And that's the
Yes.
reason. Okay. So you're all settled in. She's in that beautiful oceanfront apartment that she does not want to leave. And I have been there. I can vouch for it. So how do you manage getting food, Sonia? You don't have a car, I assume.
I do
I
not
know
have a
you
car.
don't.
I do not need a car.
Okay.
I have a grocery store right outside of my apartment complex called Extra Market.
She does. I'm so
Extra is
jealous.
wonderful. It's cheaper than any other grocery store, and they have everything I need pretty much.
And
If they don't, I run down to Reba Smith.
and then right like a block down, she's got like a little farmer's market, I like to go there. And you can buy all the fresh fruit and stuff there for really cheap. So she's got it. And there's a highway right there. If she was to drive, she's spoiled. And the bus stop is right in front, across the street from her building.
Yes, I ride
That's
the
why
bus
she's
quite a
not
bit.
moving. So what modes of transportation do you use the most, Sonia?
I use the bus when I don't have to be somewhere at a specific time, mainly because the buses have been really slow lately. But then I have the Uber,
Yes. You use
and I
it a
Uber
lot.
places at night usually, even though I've been on the bus at night, and that's not a problem either.
Good. All right. So we got your shopping done, you got transportation, you set into your apartment. What about medical? Have you had any experience with a doctor or hospital?
Yes, I have a wonderful doctor. You know that I love my doctor.
We know.
He was actually recommended through a Facebook group. Mike Kelly is the guy that told me about him.
Mhm.
And the first time I saw him, he came to my apartment and spent about 2 hours with me, going over all my medical history. And then he ordered some labs and did all that. And here in Panama, you don't have to have a doctor's order for labs. You can just go into any laboratory and pass them for the test you want.
And I've done the same thing.
That's really nice. Also, with prescriptions, the only prescriptions you have to have is for antibiotics or narcotics.
Narcotics.
Anything
Can
else,
walk
like
into
I do
any
have
pharmacy.
diabetes,
Yes.
and so any medicine that I need, I just order and go to the pharmacy and pick it up.
And then there is one that even delivers your meds, right? Pharma something. They can deliver to
Pharma
your house.
Value,
There you go.
and they will also deliver.
They do. That's amazing. And of course, with groceries as well, you can have those delivered. Extra is delivering now for free. Reba Smith delivers. And PriceSmart, which is like the Costco of Panama City, they deliver. I order from them. So
I didn't know PriceSmart delivered.
they
Yay.
do. They do. Like heavy stuff like the laundry, detergent, bleach. I don't want to carry those around. And they deliver and they leave it downstairs and I go pick it up.
That's great.
Isn't it nice?
And so anyway, the medical is great. I see my doctor when I need to, and it's always available. All I have to do is text and he says, come in. And if I've been sick, he is in touch with me every day. He calls me, he texts me, how are you doing? Are you getting better? Just
Yeah.
wonderful care. Wonderful care.
I'm gonna do a separate video about healthcare because it's so different from what we are used to in America, where doctors spend time with you. But what I wanted people to know is that most of us retirees, we pay out of pocket for our doctor visits. And they're
Yes.
reasonable, right? Like $40, $50 in that
My
range?
a visit with him is $24.
20, 44? Yeah,
$24.
$24. Write that down, $24 to see your doctor, and then they're not rushed. They take time with you, they give you prescriptions. Oh my God. So most of
He
us do not.
never spends less than 30, 45 minutes with me.
And we don't, we don't feel pressure to have health insurance here in Panama. And like I said, I'm going to do another video. Most of the insurance we worry about is for emergencies. You know, you get into a car accident, you fall, and you're wondering how you're going to pay for it. And there are some options. We can go into that in another video. The other thing I wanted to ask you is about fun, leisure. Do you just sit at home and just watch the ocean waves? What do you do for fun?
Well,
I know what you do for fun,
I
but
know what I would recommend to everybody is to join a group called Internations. And so I go out with them. They usually have at least one or two activities a week. And I do that. And then I got a puppy recently. And so
Good.
she keeps me busy.
so she's living a
But
full life.
and I mean I have visitors and we go to Casco BA Home and just all kinds of things. There's always something to do.
And Miss Sonia here is in a really large apartment. You know, I'm in a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. She's in a 4-bedroom, 5-bath apartment with a maid's quarter. Ask me about that later, but a bunch of apartments here in Panama has an extra room in case you have a maid, they can have their own little area. I saw
Yeah, I have
that in
two
Africa.
guest rooms and they have their own bathroom. And so it comes in handy.
And I have my own room there with my name on the door. So just so you know. And she has a room here too.
You have a room here.
So we talk about friendships, you know, transportation, healthcare, how you got set up. So tell me, how happy are you here in Panama?
I would never live anywhere else. I love it.
She does. And she
I
tells
have been
me
very
every
happy
week.
here. It's very peaceful. I can sit and look at the ocean all day. The people are wonderful and nice and helpful. The language has been a challenge, but I'm
Yeah.
learning.
And
And
you
so
use Google Translate when you're stuck. So
you can use Google Translate, and I have done that.
good.
But I can get around now pretty much with some Spanish.
Yeah.
You know, I talk like a 3-year-old, but that's okay.
Is there anything that bothers you about Panama?
The Panamanian people are so wonderful that if they'll work with you, if they know a few words of English, and they'll get it.
Yeah. But my last question was, is there anything, I know you love it so much, but is there anything that bothers you a little bit?
Well, the language was difficult.
Okay.
You know, I know the manana principle here that sometimes bothers me. For an example, I had a person that was supposed to come and work on my bathroom and said I would be there tomorrow at 9. And I waited all day and he never called, he never texted.
Yep.
And then so finally I called and they said tomorrow. And I said, well, let's do it next week because I'm not going to stay in all. So I made
You knew it wasn't going to be mañana.
And he was here.
All right, so we all have to deal with that, and I addressed that in the previous video. My last question, Miss Sonia, is, oh my gosh, I keep forgetting to tell you guys to like, share, and subscribe. I should have done that at the beginning and at the midpoint. I always forget. Well, you know,
Absolutely.
There you go. The last question is, what are your long-term, actually two questions. What are your long-term goals for retirement? Your plans?
My plan is to live here forever
Okay, until you die.
until I die.
Okay,
And I've told my family they can come see me anytime.
and they do.
They do.
Okay. Now, what advice would you have for anyone who is on the fence as to how hard it is to get over here? Any financial concerns or anything like that? What advice would you have for them?
I know it's scary. It was very scary to move here, not knowing anyone. But you make friends easily. That's why one reason I joined Internations. And of course, I met Maggie, and that was wonderful.
Yeah,
And you make friends, and it's not as hard as you would think.
you
You
just need to
just
be
got to get
open. Yeah,
your ducks in order. Make
right.
sure that you know where you're going to stay when you come to look for an apartment. Just
And there are
it's not
people
hard.
around willing to help you. You know, I've had people sending me messages all the time. Can I reach out to you when I get here? Of course you can. You know, we are here to
Yes,
help. Yeah,
I would be more than happy to help anyone
exactly. Great.
because it's very difficult as a single woman as far as getting the courage to do it.
Right,
But
right.
once you take that step, you won't ever look back.
So what would you say, you know, we are kind of basic middle class income type of people, you and I. What would you say the average monthly cost would be to, you know, get your apartment, get your food, and leave a little cash for doctors and go out to eat or something like that per month? Is it 2,000,
I'm looking.
2,500?
I spend probably 2,000.
Mhm. That's what I say.
That's
I
for
say
everything.
between 2 and 3, depending on your lifestyle, right?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, I go out to eat, I go out to do things, and I don't have to watch my money.
Yeah,
At
and we live
2,000 a month, I
comfortably,
really
right?
don't have to worry about it.
And we're comfortable. Yeah, we're not eating bread and Kool-Aid, like I said in my last video.
Of course, my puppy has cost me some money, but
Yeah, but it's your baby, so.
yes, she's been wonderful.
So to recap, we talked to Sonia, who moved here as a new widow. She was recently widowed, and even though her husband came on the scouting trips with her, so emotionally, she was at a place where she could have said, "Oh my God, it's too hard. I was there with him." But she forged ahead and she came. And look, she's living her best life. She looks wonderful. She's surrounded by friends. She got a puppy and life is good for her. So if you are
I'm
a
truly
friend,
living my best life.
you know, there you go. There you go. So sis, if you're considering coming to Panama, or you look at your Social Security or your pension and you're like, there is no way I can make it. And what I tell people is that there are a lot of older people like us who
Mhm.
retired, but are having to go back to work at Walmart, pushing carts, bagging groceries, just so you can make a little bit of extra money to pay for medication or your doctors.
Yes,
That's
I would have had
heartbreaking.
to work full time to
See,
stay in the States.
well, you're not 65 yet, Sonia. We didn't mention that. You're not 65 yet.
No,
See, I'm 66. So she retired. You got Social Security last year.
I got the survivor
Oh,
benefits
the
in
benefit. You're not
January.
even 65. See? So she retired on her pension, right?
I retired on my state pension.
There you go. So what we talked about in my video was to do the math. Just add up what you know you're gonna have as regular income, something that's gonna come in, you know, regularly every single month, and then look at it and see if you can make it work. And you can always reach out to me and ask. Don't ask me how much money you're gonna need to live. We're giving you a range. right? So you may not be able to afford apartment like Sonia, 3, 4 bedroom. You may not need that. And in this city, we have apartments at all price levels, right? And you can always negotiate. Nothing is written in stone,
Yes,
right?
that's one thing. I had an amount that I was going to pay, and I had a high dollar. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
And when I went in the first one, they wanted more than
More?
what I was going to pay,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't like it that much. So I said, okay. And then when I saw this one, they wanted more than I wanted to pay, and I asked them if they would take what I
Your
could
budget,
pay,
what your budget dictates,
and they
right?
jumped on it.
See?
Yeah.
And then that's the thing. There are so many vacant apartments in this city that you don't have to stick to what somebody says, oh, no, I'm not going. You don't have to. Just go to the next one until you find what you can afford. Don't try to keep up with the Joneses. Make sure you're comfortable that you're not,
Right.
it's like 80% of your income goes to your rent. Okay. So you can impress somebody. Don't do that. Don't do that. Is there anything else you wanted to share with us, Sonia?
Not really. Just do it. Take
Yeah,
it.
take
Do
the
it.
lead because it takes courage to make this decision to come. And myself, my story is a little bit different, but it was, let's do it. And my videos, what we do is help you to stir you. All the research she's done, I'm just telling you how to do it and how important it is for you to do it because you don't want to go in blindly. You need to know where you're going and what's happening. You learn about the country, the culture, the people, the systems. You have to understand that. And that's what's going to make your life easier and you're going to live stress free, like I am too. So Sonia, thank you so much. I know I kind of hijacked her. I said, are you ready? Well, I guess so. Wasn't it painless, this exchange?
Oh, it was painless. It
Okay.
was easy.
Okay. So next time I call you, you know what to expect.
That's right.
All right, Miss Sonia, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. I know your puppy is probably ready to come out, but thank you for all the information. I just wanted people to see that it is being done. We are here. This is not a myth. It can be done. Once you get your homework done, you get here, you're going to be fine. So please remember to like, share, subscribe to the channel, share the video, like it. It helps the algorithm. So I will see you guys next time. Thank you so much. God bless you. I love you. Au revoir. Bye-bye. Hey friends, today por casualidad we ended up at La Amistad, Parque La Amistad, meaning Friendship Park, which is more of a Chinese theme natural park. We just ended up taking the photo shoot pictures at that park. The Chinese people are very prominent here in Panama. The last census said there were 4% of the population that is of Chinese descent. So there is a lot of Chinese influence here in Panama, as there is all over the world. So if you're ever in town, go ahead and take a look at La Amistad, Parque La Amistad. Discovering Panama with Maggie.